At the end of this week's Parsha, Parshas Emor, the Torah recounts a disturbing story that contains some significant prejudice. It appears to almost be a racial prejudice that needs explanation. At the end of the Parsha, the Torah tells us that there was a certain man whose mother was Jewish, but his father was Egyptian, that he went out and he argued in the camp with a Ish Yisraeli, with a Jewish man. And the Torah says that this son of the Mitzri, the Torah calls him a Ben HaYisraelis, the son of the Jewish woman, argued with the Ish Yisraeli, with the Jewish man. Now the rabbis explained that this argument pertained to the fact that in the desert, the tribes were camped according to the pedigree of their fathers. Being that this man, his father was Egyptian, and his mother was a Yisraelis from the tribe of Dan, he felt that he should be entitled to camp with the tribe of Dan. But he was told by the members of the tribe of Dan that this is not a place for him, because tribal encampments go according to the pedigree of the father. He went to court in front of Moshe, and Moshe ruled that he was not allowed to camp and pitch his tent in the tribe of Dan. At which point he went out and he was arguing with the people of Dan, and eventually, tragically, he cursed God, and it was determined that he deserved to be killed. Now the question is that obviously this story needs explanation. Is this the way that we Jews should treat one another? But a pointed question in the text is that the Torah describes this son of an Egyptian man as a son of a Jewish woman arguing with a Jewish man, meaning regular Jews. But probably it would have made more sense for the Torah to say that the Ben HaMitzri, the son of the Egyptian man, was arguing with a Ben HaYisraeli, with the son of a Jewish man, meaning one whose father was from the tribe of Dan. Why does the Torah phrase that the argument was between the son of the Jewish woman, i.e., implication his father was Egyptian, with a Jewish man, with really no explanation of i.e., because in truth they're both Jewish, right? If the mother is Jewish, he's Jewish. So it's a strange way to phrase that they were arguing the son of the Jewish man with a Jewish man, when in fact they're both Jewish men. They were both actually the sons of a Jewish woman. So the main part of the story is not being described accurately by this lineage description. So I'd like to suggest a very, very critically important lesson for us, and especially in today's times. Perhaps what the Torah is telling us is when it came true that this son of an Egyptian man, whose mother was from the tribe of Dan, was ruled against, when Moshe said to him, no, you do not have a right to pitch your tent in the tribe of Dan, he actually had a false narrative as to the reason that Moshe ruled against him. The truth, Moshe ruled against him because his father is Egyptian. But his interpretation of that ruling is, oh, my only claim to fame is that my mother is Jewish, but you don't really consider me a Jew. I'm not really a Jew, because if I was a Jew, you would give me a place to camp with the rest of this tribe. It must be you don't treat me like a Jew. So in his own mind, he said, the only claim to fame I have is that my mother is a Jewess, so he's a Ben HaYisraelis, and the reason that these other people get a right to camp there is not because their father is from the tribe of Dan, but because they're Jewish. They're Jewish, and I'm not Jewish. And this is a huge, huge problem in the entitlement generation, in the generation of victimhood. When people say, if I don't have what you have, it must be that you're racially profiling me. You must think of me as less than you. You must think of me as not belonging. And you know what? If that's the case, I reject you, I reject your community, and unfortunately in this case, I reject God. And that is so often the the sad, sad story of Jews who have unfortunately had a difficult past, of Jews who have not had all the privileges of upbringing of many other Jews, whatever they might be, whether it's in the monetary field, whether it's in the education arena. Somehow they say, oh, you know what? The Jewish people are rejecting me, and God can't really be real if this is what is happening with his Jewish people. But the real answer is not, oh no, sir, you're misunderstanding. We care about you. We'll find you a place to live. We'll take care of you. No. The real answer is, you're not appreciating what it means to be a Jew. Being a Jew is the most unbelievable privilege of existence. Being a Jew means we are part of the nation that God has determined is his chosen nation. We are part of the people who actually bring the truth of God, the holiness of God, and the entire world into reality and help the whole world to become elevated. That's what it means to be a Jew. Okay, so you know what? My father's not a Kohen. So therefore it's not fair because he's not a Kohen and I can't do service in the temple, and therefore it must be that I'm being racially profiled and I'm not really a Jew and I reject the whole thing. Of course not. That's absurd. Every Jew has a special purpose, and whatever deficiency any Jew has, whether it's because the mother is Jewish and the father is not, or because both parents are not Jewish and they converted, or the father is Jewish and the mother is not and they converted, or he's a Levi but he's not a Kohen, or he's a Yisrael but he's not a Levi. Every Jew plays a vital role in Knesset Yisrael, which means the gathering of all the Jews, and that's where the holiness of the Jewish peoples reside, in the togetherness of all the Jews, in living as one community and part of one camp. Okay, so I'm not with this tribe. I'm not with that tribe. You know what? Maybe I actually am with the converts. But guess what? We're all part of the Jewish nation, in the Jewish land, with the Jewish people, part of the Jewish mission. We don't need to leave a community because we don't feel like we get everything that we're quote-unquote entitled to feel. It's the famous line from one of our most famous presidents, ask not what your country can do for you, but what you can do for your country. That has to be the Jewish mindset on spades. Ask not what God and the Jewish people can do for you, but what you can do for the Jewish people and Hashem. Because don't forget one thing, like this story teaches us, if you reject the Jewish people, you will reject God. I don't fight on the front lines in Gaza. How privileged am I that I am a part of a nation that has such holy, holy soldiers willing to fight to the death and put their lives completely on the line for the security of the Jewish people in Israel and throughout the world. That's my privilege, to be part of such a holy people. So I don't have that responsibility, but I'm privileged to be in a nation of people that has that kind of righteousness. Okay, so I don't have the responsibilities and the privileges of a Kohen, but I'm privileged to be in a nation that has Kohanim, that do that service. And now I need to find not only my place within the community, but my role and my purpose. And when I do that, not only will I be proud of who I am, but I will find the way to serve Hashem and understand that ultimately I have nothing but blessings for the Jewish people and for Hashem.